Okay, thank you all. Good evening. This is Trevor. Today the topic is Azure Databricks. So here I'm going to discuss about the Azure Databricks introduction actually. So let me pull the actually project flow. When we are working with the actual real-time projects nowadays, especially when you are performing the transformations, okay, once the data which is available into the staging layer, that is Azure Data Lake Gen 2, we have a multiple containers like a bronze and silver and gold. Okay, by using this ADF, we are going to connect the source system and pull the data and extract the data and load the data into the bronze layer, right? Bronze container. Now this bronze container having the raw data means huge amount of data, right? For preparing the good data, like removing the null values, perform the data cleansing, data enrichment, data aggregations, any other things. Okay, especially this type of activities we can call it as a transformations. Okay, data cleaning means like dropping the duplicates and checking the null values and preparing the schemas, whether the schema having the correct data types or not. So, right, such type of things we can call it as a transformations. Especially to perform the transformations, we have two techniques. One is data flows and second one is Databricks. So data flows actually part of data factory, but here we are doing the graphical representations. But 95% projects are preferring the Databricks only. The reason is Databricks, we can create the clusters, right? We can do the customization, we can provide the reusable code and like it will support the multiple programming languages like a PySpark, SQL, Python, Scala, and R, right? We can schedule the jobs, right? So there are a lot of things which we are performing under the Databricks. But data flows, we have some limitations because here we are doing the graphical manner. Okay. So 95% projects nowadays are preferring Databricks only, especially to perform the transformations. So today the topic is Databricks. Right? Okay. Today topic is Databricks. Then what is Databricks? Actually, this Databricks which is provided by the Apache company. Okay. Databricks actually not related to the any cloud like Azure or AWS or GCP. Databricks actually third-party tool which is provided by the Apache company. Right? We have a famous third-party tools available in the market like a Terraform, which is provided by the Apache company, Databricks, which is provided by the Apache company, Kubernetes, which is provided by the Google, right? So there are a lot of third-party tools available in the market. So for doing the some main important thing, right? So for these reasons, so who is very famous in the market, especially third-party tools, right? These clouds actually like Azure, AWS, and GCP, they are going to take the agreement between these third-party tools. Okay, so that once the agreement is done between the clouds, so this Databricks now support to the Azure and AWS and GCP. Terraform also supports Azure and AWS and GCP. Kubernetes also supports the Azure and Kubernetes GCP. So cloud actually, each and every cloud, right? They are if any service is very famous in the market, right? They are going to take the agreement between them. The reason is, so always the client must and should be hold only. The reason, if client using any cloud like Azure or AWS or GCP, right? If the client using third-party tools, right? When we are integrating the third-party tools to the cloud environment, generally, so here may client feel some integrated related issues or any security related issues, any connectivity related issues, something. For avoiding these things, right? For reducing the client related times and all. Okay. So each and every cloud, they are going to take the agreement between these third party tools. So Databricks also one of the analytical tool, very famous analytical tool, which is available in the market. Okay, which is provided by the Apache company. Okay, so especially nowadays, whether it is AWS or a GCP or a Azure, for performing the transformations, people are preferring Databricks by using PySpark concept. Databricks by using PySpark concept means Databricks actually follow the PySpark methodology. Before Databricks, we have a concept called Hadoop, but Hadoop actually following the MapReduce concept. But in Hadoop, we need to write the lot of Java code, right? That is the reason people feel headache while writing a lot of 100 lines and 1,000 lines of code with respect to the Java code. Oh, and In Hadoop, only suitable for the batch processing data only, not real-time streaming data. But Databricks supports the any type of data movement. Batch processing data means structured data or else file system related data like a CSV, Park, ABR, JSON. Real-time streaming data also supports the data. But we don't have any options to take care of this real-time streaming data in Hadoop. That is the reason people are preferring Databricks. Okay, right. So if your project related to the data engineer, data engineer, either Azure or AWS or GCP, first you need to know about three views. Three views. One V value, second V velocity, third V is variety. Value, velocity, variety. Right? Means as a data engineer, we have a source system. The source system having the large volume of data means huge amount of data. Okay. So when we are handling this huge amount of data, right? Right. When we are handling the huge volume of data from the source system, right? First, you need to know about the value. So how much size, the data size, whether the data actually which is available in the form of KB or a MB or a GB or millions of records or a terabytes or a petabytes. First, you need to know about the value, means size of your data. Okay, you need to know about the volume of your data. Right. So for especially for getting the data from the source system, then who is going to produce this data? Right. For example, applications, web applications. So we have a domains, right? Like a different, we have a domains like healthcare domain, banking domain, insurance domain. Like the way we have multiple domains available in the market. So each and every domain, so producing the data, right? So like we have e-commerce based applications like Amazon and Flipkart. Everyday users just keep on doing these transactions, keep on they're buying the products, and so we need to track that product. We need to uh, check these transactions as well, right? Huge transactions, right? Web applications related data also we need to take care of it. So these web applications also producing the data. And if we talk about real-time streaming data, for example, in India, already launched the Chandrayaan 3, right? So the Chandrayaan 3 keep on capturing the data from the moon, right? Every minute, every second. So that data also we need to take care of it. So real-time streaming data means banking related things. So when we are withdrawing the amount, immediately we are getting the messages. When we are trying to transfer the money from the one bank to another bank, right? We need to give the OTP, right? Immediate messages we are getting, right? Those are real-time streaming data. Some IoT devices, some healthcare related devices, right? So it keep on producing the data, right? So such type of data we need to take care of it. So batch processing data and real-time stream. So as a data engineer, at the beginning of your project, you need to know about the velocity and variety and value. Okay. So value means size of your data. Size of your data means MB of data, KB of data, GBs of data, whether billions of records or terabytes or petabytes, right? You need to know about the um, size of your data first. Size of your data. Okay. Right. So value means how much data. Okay, fine. Your source system producing the data, right? First, you need to know about the size of your data, like a terabytes of data, petabytes of data, MB of data, GBs of data. Okay, I request you guys while joining the sessions, there is an option called mute. Please mute from your end. Right, value. Next, velocity. So velocity means time. Okay, fine. Your source system is generating the data, right? So you need to know about the time. At what time your source system is generating the data. So at your ETL pipeline is going to collect the source system and extract the data and load the data into ADLS Gen2, right? Okay. So for doing this process, this ETL pipeline must and should know about the time of the your source system data capturing process. Whether your source system like producing the data every hourly wise or daily once or twice or every minute manner. Okay, you need to know about the velocity, means near real time. Okay, your source system generating the data, right? So may know your time. First is volume, means size of your data, and time of your data, how much time it will take to produce the data, either daily or daily twice or every 1 hour or every minute. So you need to know about the near real time velocity. Second one is velocity. Third one is variety. Means, okay, fine. So actually, my source system producing the data on every 1 hour. So every 1 hour it producing the 10 GB of data. Fine. So 10 GB of data, okay, fine. Every 1 hour, okay. So right now we are pretty much sure about the time as well as size of our data, right? So here the third one is, okay, fine. Third one is you need to know about the format. So your source system is generating the data, okay, fine. So which format, whether it's a structured data or else file system related data like a CSV, Park, AVR, or JSON, or else any real-time streaming related data. So you need to know about the format. So these three things you need to know. So before the beginning of the project, so you need to know about the three V's: volume, velocity, variety. Volume is size of your data. Velocity means near real time. Variety means data format. Data format. So in Azure Databricks, okay, mainly for handling the large volume of data. Okay, Azure Databricks supports these features: unified analytical platform, Apache Spark integration, Workspace, collaboration sharing, clusters, data integration. We can integrate with other service, security and compliance and scalability. We'll see these things in real-time lab manner. Okay, so before already told you, right? Before Databricks, we have a concept called Hadoop. Hadoop following the map reducing process, right? Hadoop also we have a cluster. Databricks also we have a cluster. Cluster means group of machines. Cluster means group of machines. Okay, right. Each and every mission or server or node or VM or virtual machines all are same. Okay, generally every mission having the compute, right? Like a memory, like a RAM, like memory, hard disk, and processor. Like, so those things we can call it as a compute. Okay, each and every server having the compute, and we have a disk as well, right? For example, in this picture, we have multiple disks. See, in Hadoop, we have a multiple disk like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When we are trying to move the data from disk to disk, right? Disk to disk means it will take some time. For example, I have in my personal laptop. I have a data which is available in my laptop. I'm trying to copy the data from my laptop to the some external hard disk or any pen drive, right? Uh, for example, if you are trying to copy the 1 GB of data, it will take some time, either 5 minutes or 10 minutes, because you are copying the data from the disk manner. You are copying the data from disk to pen drive, right? Obviously, it will take some time, especially if you are moving the data from disk to another place, right? It will take some time. But in Hadoop, we have a multiple disks. Here we have a multiple disk. If you are moving data from disk to disk, obviously it will take the lot of time for achieving reaching to the your destination. That is the reason Hadoop only suitable for batch processing data, not real-time streaming data. Okay, for example, my source system having the real-time streaming data. I want to process this data in every minute manner, means every minute or every 1 hour, I want to move the source data into my destination, an immediate manner. But in Hadoop, we don't have any capability to move the data from source to destination, because here we are moving the data through the disk manner. Obviously, it will take time. So the reason is you have to wait at least 24 hours or something time. There is a time latency here. But in Spark, here we don't have any latency issues. We have a one disk is there, but data actually moving in the form of cache level. For example, we are using the Google Chrome, right? We have a cache process, right? When you are searching any website at the first step, obviously it will take some fraction of seconds, right? If you store the data in cache in the browser, right? If in next time, automatically there is some reference which is available in your history in the cache. So next time we don't see that much time. So immediately we are getting the data. Means the data actually stored in the form of your cache in the browser, right? Same like here also, the data which is available in the form of cache. So that process we can call it as an in-memory process. Okay, here we don't see multiple process here. We are moving the data in the form of in-memory process, means cache manner, means there is no process to store the data. The data keep on is moving. The data is keep on moving. There is no failover process. Yes, in case if the failure happening to the cluster, that will take care by the cluster components actually. Here we don't have any options to store the data into the disk manner. Means the data keep on moving so that we can retrieve the data in very fast manner. Okay. For example, in Hadoop, in picture in above, for example, I have a day one data. I have a day one data. So for example, 10 GB of data. I want to process day one data. So you have to wait at least 24 hours time to move the data from source to destination. Once the day one is completed, once we are entering to the day two, so then we can move the day one data from source to destination. Means here there is a time lagging. But in Spark, we don't have any time lagging concepts because Spark following the Spark following the cache process, means in-memory process, so that we can move the data in very fast manner. Okay, Hadoop supports only batch processing data, but Spark supports batch processing data as well as real-time streaming data. Batch processing data means structured data SQL plus file system related data like a CSV, Parquet, AVRO, JSON. These all those things comes under as a batch processing data. Batch processing data means there is a time lagging, guys. So there is a time lagging. Okay, real-time streaming data means immediately we are moving the data from source to destination, either minute or a 5 minutes or something 15 minutes, either 1 hour. Okay, but in batch processing data, definitely there is a latency, either more than 1 hour or half day or a 1 day. Such type of those things we can call it as a batch processing data. Real-time streaming data means there is no time lagging here. Immediately we need to move the data from source to the target. Batch processing data, real-time streaming data. As a data engineer, we used to take care of these two processing. One is batch processing data, second one is real-time streaming data. Okay, real-time streaming data actually producing the different types of applications and different types of devices, like IoT devices, any sensor related devices actually producing the data. Those actually we can consider as a real-time streaming data. Batch processing data means, for example, there is a website. Okay. For example, there is a Medicare related website. Okay. So here we have a data actually. See, so we have a different types of data which is available here. Okay. So the data here we have like Excel related data. Okay. And also we have a data which is available in the form of JSON as well. We'll see the lab. I will show you the same. I will take this web application related data. I will show you the lab in data factory. So this data actually related to the REST API. Okay. So this type of data means already data which is available. There is a period of time period is already there. Means here we have a quarter-wise data, month-wise data. Okay, means there is a time lagging actually, but my system is a real-time streaming data, and today itself only in last 1 hour or last 15 minutes back data I want to move from the source to the target. Those type of data we can call it as a real-time streaming data. As a data engineer, we are going to take care of these two data moments: batch processing data, real-time streaming data. Okay, so I will show you this future in the Databricks concept. Any questions so far? Please let me know related to the volume, velocity, variety, and Hadoop, Spark. So we have a few more sessions related to the difference between Hadoop and Spark. And we have a Spark architecture, Spark cluster, There are a lot of things which we need to discuss in coming sessions. Any questions so far, please let me know. Please try to ask the questions related to the Databricks only.
Shravan,
Yeah, please.
relating the real-time streaming you said now, like,
Yeah.
can you explain that once? Like it will go to the destination, like it's a live process or like?
Live data only. For example, my source is IoT device. My IoT device keep on producing the data. Okay. So either every 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So I need to design a one pipeline. Okay, that pipeline must and should connect the source system, move this latest data, and take the data and move the data into destination. In middle, so we need to perform some transformation. That is automatic flow. Okay.
Yeah. So the process in the middle we need to perform, right, in the real time.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Middle batch processing data, real time streaming data. Two things we need to perform transformations.
Okay.
Process is same, but time is matter here.
Okay.
యా శ్రవణ్ మీరు చెప్పినట్టు ఇప్పుడు డేటా ఫ్యాక్టరీ కదా చేసేది కనెక్టింగ్ టు సోర్స్ టు డెస్టినేషన్ వై ఆర్ మళ్ళీ అక్కడ ఎందుకు అంటున్నారు?
I didn't understand your question. Right?
యా అజూర్ డేటా ఫ్యాక్టరీ కదా కనెక్ట్ టు సోర్స్ టు డెస్టినేషన్ కనెక్ట్ అయ్యి మూవ్ చేసే డేటా.
Correct.
దెన్ ఇక్కడ సోర్స్ టు డెస్టినేషన్ అంటున్నారు డేటాబేస్ లో.
I'm not clear about your question. Yes, Azure Data Factory is going to connect the source system. It is a ETL process,
Yes.
connect the extract the data, load the data into staging layer. So here the transformation come to the picture, either a data flows or a Databricks. By using this Databricks, we have a Spark concept. Here we are writing the data frame concepts. So like for handling the batch processing code, for handling the real-time streaming code. After the transformations completed successfully, load the data into destination.
Yeah.
Okay. Even though, yes, Azure Data Factory is a ETL tool, extract, transform, load, ETL, T, transformation. To perform the transformation, two techniques, data flows and Databricks. My project wants to go for Databricks only. Definitely, if it is a Databricks, definitely we are going to work with the Spark only, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
clear?
Yeah.
Others, any questions?
Shravan, yeah, I mean, when we are doing the transformation in the Databricks, yeah, I understand it could be done by PySpark, but we can still convert those data frames into pandas, right? And continue working
Yes.
like Python
Yeah.
pandas?
Yes, yes, we can do it. If your data
Okay.
which is available into the 1 minute, let me show you. Okay. For example, yeah, my data which is available here. All right. So here we have two concepts to perform the transformation. Either we can use the data frames by using the Spark, either we can use the pandas. Pandas
Right,
actually
okay.
related to the Python, completely
Yes.
related to the Python part. Spark actually here we are doing the Spark code combination of Python code. If you are going to with the complete plain pandas related Python, right? So you may feel some difficulty. There is some limitations.
Okay.
Okay, but Spark we have a n number of features while compared to the pandas.
Yes, yeah.
That is the
Probably
reason
for
95% of projects are into Spark only.
okay. Okay, got it.
Others, any questions?
Yes, Shravan. So
Yeah, please.
if we are processing batch data, so so we can go with Hadoop also.
Yes, your wish, but you need to decide the uh, like time. Okay, maybe in future my projects, actually my source system, we are gonna add the real-time streaming as well. Okay, still projects is that they are into the Hadoop only for handling the only batch processing data. So, but there is some complexity. We need to write a lot of Java code things and all.
And also earlier question, the pandas, I mean, I think pandas, it cannot process huge amount of data. No?
Yes, Panda supports the huge amount of data, but there is some limitations. It does not have the advanced features something. We have some limitations in Pandas. But Spark, we don't have any limitation. It having some advanced features to handling the any type of data movements and any type of data size. Thank you. Others, any questions?
So Spark and PySpark, both are different, Shravan,
Both
or,
are different, somewhat different.
okay.
At initial time, at initial days, not recent days, in past, okay, when the Databricks came to the market, so there is a one already told you, right? Hadoop following the MapReduce concept, Databricks following the Spark-based process, okay. But later, due to this client demands, so why can't we write the code in the mixed of Python and Spark? Because Python actually common for any technology nowadays, right? If you go for DevOps, Python is common. We are writing some scripts for do the CI/CD process. Like if you go for data science, Python is common. Data science, Python is common. Data analysis, Python is common. So nowadays, Python is common for almost IT industry. So that is the reason these vendors or clients are why can't we write the code combination of Spark and Python? So for this reason, so clients, this Databricks take these inputs from these vendors. Okay, how actually we are these vendors is mainly looking for to process these things. So based upon these inputs, so they designed the different frameworks. Okay. In Databricks, earlier we have a old frameworks, but here that time we are writing plain Spark code only. So based upon this vendor interest, they are introducing the PySpark. PySpark means PySpark. PySpark means combination of Python plus Spark. Means in one code, one cell, we can write the Spark code as well as Python code, mixed code. So that is the benefit. That is the majority of the main benefit which is available into the Databricks.
Okay. Got it.
Thank you. Others, any questions? Okay. So we'll see the these things in practical manner. Let me go to the portal. Here I'm going to create the Databricks workspace. And one more thing, we are not going to create this services. DevOps team will take care of this service creation. So if I click on Azure Databricks, right here, I'm able to see the Azure Databricks workspace. Then what is workspace? So workspace means it is a place where we are going to work with the multiple team members together. Like for example, we have a offshore and ODC, right? Offshore development center. The companies are maintaining this ODC into the each and every floor, right? ODC means only specific project peoples are part of that ODC. Only that specific peoples are allowing to the enter into the that project. That ODC having the same project testing team, development team, something any DevOps team, any admin team. Okay. All right. So workspace means it is a place where our data related things teams we are going to working each other like a data science team, machine learning team, data engineering team, data analyst team, something. Right. Let me create this Databricks workspace. Here we have a mandatory options is there. So workspace name, for example, test workspace. Region, here I'm gonna specify my entire lab into the West US only. Next, pricing tier. So here we have three pricing types available here. So 100% the projects are people first option only. 100 Apache Spark secure with the Microsoft Entra ID. Okay. Then what is Microsoft Entra ID? Active Directory. Okay. So earlier we people are calling it as a Active Directory. Recently they just changed the name as a Microsoft Entra ID. So Active Directory means, so this admin team will create the users, like for example, today only I just joined in this company, right? Admin team is going to create one email ID respect to the Microsoft Azure portal, like a Shravan.in something at tcs.com, something domain, right? Who is going to create that one admin, right? In which service is going to create it? Microsoft Enter ID, Active Directory. First, he's going to create the user stories, then user ID. Next, he's going to add my user ID into the multiple groups. In Active Directory also, first we have a groups, dev group, QA group, DevOps group, data engineer group, like the way we have IT group, support group, like the way we have multiple groups are we have available into the Active Directory. So multiple, we have a hundreds or thousands of users part of that our Azure portal. So this admin team is going to add this users list into the each and every group. So if you select this option, right, so who are part of this Microsoft Enter ID, those people can able to connect with this our Databricks workspace. Okay, so premium means we have some limitations. So only who are having the access. Even though, okay, right, we have a part of our project. All the users are part of our project, but so here we have 1,000 members are part of my project. Only there is a, I want to give this access to the only specific 20 people only, right? Who are RBAC means role-based access control. Premium means, so we are giving the access to the separate persons, like a 20 members, to give the separate access, right? Only those 20 people can able to access my Databricks only, not others members. So like the we have a options pricing types. So here I'm using the free trial, right? Let me select the trial premium 14 days free Databricks units. Please select this option only, but in real time, so either one or a two. But if you are using the free trial, right? So just select the free trial only, 14 days free. Right. Next, here we have a one more group. So let me create the some group name, networking. So here we have a networking option. I have a Azure Databricks. I want to connect my Azure Databricks secure manner and private manner, advanced secure manner and private manner over part of my specific IP address. Then you can just use the virtual network. So encrypt. We have encrypt techniques, security complaints. This will be taken by the admin team only. Tags also for easily identification, environment level, resource level. We are using the tags concept. Click on create. It will take some time because Databricks actually related to the platform as a service. So here we have a multiple services, right? If you click on this option here, we are able to see the multiple services. These services actually categorize into the three components: infra services, platform as a service, software as a service. Right? Development related service, which is comes under the platform as a service. So Databricks, which is part of platform as a service. Azure SQL, which is related to platform as a service. Synapse, yes, it's related to the platform as a service. Function apps, logic apps, which is comes under the platform as a service. So infra services means admin will be taken care by the infra services like load balancers, virtual machines, compute, networking, energy, virtual network, subnets, missions, backups. This will be part of infrastructure part. Okay. And Fabric actually comes under the software as a service because Fabric is a product software. This software having the multiple components, multiple products here. Okay. We have a separate session for discussing the Fabric. It will take some time, I think more than 2 minutes for creating the Databricks workspace. Let's wait for some other time. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, let me know.
So, Shravan, in the meantime, I mean, can you give us like a couple of examples of the limitations between Python and Spark? Where can we
So
use Spark more than?
Pandas and Spark, right? You are talking about.
Yes, yes, okay.
Yeah, sure. So let me tell you few of the differences. For example, size also matter. First one, data size. The very first one is data size. Okay. For example, you're handling with GBs of data, not a terabytes of data. GBs of data.
Okay.
Your source system is GBs of data. But so here, if your source system always generating the data in the form of GBs only, either today or tomorrow and coming quarter or next year or coming years also, if your source system generating the GBs of data, right, then good to go with pandas. But day by day, so if you are using any applications, any devices, right, the data keep on increasing, right? It's not a decreasing. We don't have any fixed size for the source system. The data is keep on increasing. See, if you see this website, okay, if I download the data, right, the data size is different. Even though REST API also, quarter wise, the data is different. Maybe we are not sure if 1 month, maybe claims, insurance related claims may be increasing. Some month may be decreasing. Some month maybe keep on increasing. We are not sure about the data size. So if your data size actually related to the GBs, then good to go with pandas. If you are handling the large volume of data, like a terabytes of data, if you want to distribute the data into the multiple missions, right? Such type of scenarios, you can go good to go with the Spark. Okay, but one more thing, speed point of view, pandas is the best choice. I want to retrieve the data, right, in my source system. Okay, pandas is the best choice. Means because pandas supports the smaller data, means GBs of data. But Spark actually you may feel slow because here we are handling the large volume of data. Obviously, for handling large volume of data, it will take time to move from source to the target.
Okay.
Okay. Not only these things, we have a parallelism, some data frame APIs also is there. Some of the APIs actually not support this pandas, but Spark supports the multiple things actually.
Okay. And even we can't write data in Delta format using pandas, I believe. Again, we need to...
Correct. Delta format actually related to the Spark Databricks only. Okay. So these Delta formats, Parquet formats, some we can do some ETL Delta live tables also. We can do coding part orchestration process, but pandas we don't have these features. And also there is a lazy evaluation concept which is available in Databricks Spark, but this concept is not there into the pandas actually. So means I just written my code until I apply my action, then only my code will be executed, right? This type of features actually we don't see in pandas, but Spark having these features. Okay. And by using the Spark, we can integrate it with some different systems actually, like Hadoop or any other databases or any streaming data point of view. Multiple ecosystems or multiple third-party things we can integrate it easily. But pandas, we have some limitations.
Okay.
Right. Now Databricks is created. Thank you. Databricks is created successfully. Once if you created the Databricks, right, in left side we have options. Okay, can you please help me? What are the important components which is available in Data Factory? Anyone? Please list down the components one by one.
Integration runtime.
Very good.
Link services.
Okay.
Data sets.
Data sets, pipelines, activities, and triggers.
Activities and triggers.
Right. So these are all the important components which is available in Data Factory. So first, we need to start with integration runtime. Next, we'll go for linked service. Next, we'll go for pipeline activities. Based upon activities, we need to create a data sets. Next, we have a triggers. So one by one process which we are following. Then only we can design our ETL pipeline. So in Databricks also, we have important components is there. So the question is where to start, where to end. In Data Factory, we are going to start with integration runtime. We are going to end with the trigger concept. Once if you run this pipeline in a trigger manner, whether it's schedule or event-based manner, our pipeline is going to run, right? Same like in Databricks, where to start, where to end, right? So here we have multiple components. First, you need to start with the at the very first step. once if you enter into the real-time project, you need to set up your repository. You need to set up your repository. In Azure Data Factory also, the very first step is we need to set up the repository. Data Factory and Databricks, you need to set up the repository. Repository means, so whatever we are developing the code or a pipelines, right? We are not going to store those things into our local system. If you maintain those things in your local system, either intentionally or mistakenly, if you delete the data, right, your project-related things will be gone, right? For this purpose, people are maintaining these things into the repository. So we can track it, we can do the commits, at what time, where, at which date, right? So who did the changes, like that we can track it, everything. Okay, so right, here also, we have a repository option is there in the ADF and Databricks. The very first step is we need to set up the repository. Okay, fine. So in ADF and Databricks, once if you've done the repository step, then where to start, where to end. In Databricks point of view, you need to start with the compute. First step is compute. The very first step is compute. The very first component is compute. Compute means, so here we need to create a cluster. Cluster means group of machine, right? Group of machine, group of servers, group of nodes, group of virtual machines, group of VMs, all are same. Machines or node or VM or a server, all are same. All are same. Compute means here we need to create a cluster. Cluster having group of machines. Each and every machine having the compute. Compute means RAM, memory, hard disk, process. These things actually comes under the compute. Right. Here we have a options like all-purpose compute, job compute, SQL warehouse, like. Okay. So here, as a data engineer, we have a source data, right? Like if it is a large volume of data, terabytes of data, petabytes of data, more than GBs of data. My source system having a huge amount of data. I need to handle this data to perform some transformation, right? So if I maintain the few systems, right, every system having some CPU process, right? If mission feel more than CPU utilization, like 90% or 80%, definitely your machine is going to down, right? So I'm not sure about my source system data. Maybe today here we are going to handle the GBs of data, 10 GBs of data. Tomorrow 20 GB of data. Day after tomorrow terabytes of data. In next month maybe the data size is decreasing again back to the GBs. We are not giving any promise to our source system related data. Okay, for handling this huge amount of workloads, automatically missions created, automatically missions will be deleted. That is scale out, scale in process. So for that process will be taken by the cluster. Cluster means group of missions. I want to create missions automatically. I want to decrease missions automatically. So based upon my source system workload, based upon my source system data, if the data is increasing, so I want to increase my missions. The cluster having a group of missions, right? I want to increase the missions. If the data size is decreasing, I want to decrease in the missions from the cluster. I need to do this automate process, right? For handling the huge amount of data, for increasing the missions, decreasing the missions automatically, we need a cluster. Cluster means group of missions. Each mission having compute, like a RAM, memory, hard disk. Okay, right. Here we have an option called all-purpose compute. In all-purpose compute, we have it to power user compute and shared compute. Okay, click on create compute. Now, here we need to create a cluster. Here we need to create a cluster. While creating the cluster, here we have a multiple components. Compute is one of the first important component. Under compute, first the step is we need to create a cluster. Cluster means it having group of components. Then question is, what are the components available inside cluster? For example, if I select the legacy shared compute, right? So, okay, we have a driver type. It is one of the component, very important component, first component. Next, we have a worker type, second component. Okay, next we have a Spark cluster. We are creating the cluster. Next, runtime version. For example, we are working with the Java code. Java having some framework versions, right? And .NET also having some frameworks and versions, right? Like a 4.0, .NET Framework 4.0, 4.5 something. SQL Server 2010, 2012. Something we have a versions, Python 3.0, 3.0.1. Like the way we have versions. So even though when we are creating the cluster, right, we have a Databricks runtime versions, like a Scala version, Spark version, we need to select it, either standard or a mission learning. I will explain this concept later. We have a dedicated session related to Spark architecture. So the main important components, driver type, okay, and worker type. Okay, see, here I'm specifying the minimum workers, maximum workers. Workers means server or a machine or a node, all are same. Means here we are creating the minimum servers to maximum servers is 10. Why we are maintaining the minimum to maximum 10? For example, here my source system handling the 1 GB of data. Okay, so in case my source system having this single 1 GB of data, sorry, 1 MB of data. So there is a one machine will be enough for to handling the 1 GB of data. In case in next day, my source system is producing the 5 GB of data. For handling the 5 GB of data, one system is not enough, right? One server is not enough. So here we have a two servers to divide the 2.5 GB data into one server and 2.5 GB of data into the other server. Fine, okay. The day after tomorrow, here we are expecting the source system something 10 GB of data. Two servers is not enough to handling the 10 GB of data, right? So automatically, I want to increase the missions. I want to increase these few more missions. So here you need to decide it based upon the data. You need to specify the maximum missions. For example, I just specify the maximum 10. In case if my data reach the more than 10 GB of data, here I'm going to maintain the 10 missions, each and every server handling the 10 GB of data, 10 GB of data. So that each and every mission distribute the data. Right here, we are distributing the data into the multiple missions. After a few days, suddenly, source system is generating the data in the form of MBs only. Again, missions will be decreased automatically. Missions will be increasing, missions will be decreasing automatically. It will be taken care by the Databricks Spark cluster only. We are just creating the cluster and we are just providing the options, that's it. But backend, it will be taken care by the Spark architecture only. Okay, Spark architecture means the very first one is driver type. Driver means this driver we can consider as a manager, and we have a worker type. Sorry, driver we can treat as a manager, and we have a Spark cluster. We can call it as a lead, and we have a worker nodes. Context. Okay, so I will explain this concept later through the UI point of view. Right. So worker types, give me some time, please. Let me finish it. Let me finish it. So while creating these servers, right? Here, this each and every worker type, we can treat as a server. Driver type, we can treat as a server. Server means compute. Server having the compute, like a storage, memory, hard disk, and i3 something processor. Right? See, if you see any hard disk, right? That hard disk, we have some series, D series, DE series, something series is there, right? These are all the hard disk related series. Okay, here we are creating the server. Here we are passing the configuration, 16 GB memory, 4 cores. Okay, so whatever we are creating the servers, each and every server, here I'm going to maintain the memory and cores. Memory and cores. Same. If you want to maintain the same memory for worker node and driver type, yes, you can keep it as it is. Or else if you want to change, you can change it. So like the way we are going to create the clusters. Okay, we have a dedicated session for the Spark architecture and inside these options. And we have a policies options is there. If you are using the free trial, Microsoft Azure free trial, right? Please select the personal compute only. Please select the personal compute. If you select the personal compute, here we don't have any options to create the minimum servers, maximum servers, because you are the one only part of Azure portal, right? You are going to take care of your workloads, some low amount of data. So then it is the best choice to do your POC or practice. Okay. So if you are using the free trial, right? So you may feel you face some issues related to the here, some quota related issues. Some while creating the cluster, it will throw the some error. So you need to contact with the Microsoft support team. Okay. So here, go to the subscription. So in each and every subscription left side, we have an option called help. Yeah, click on support and troubleshooting. Okay, so you need to specify your issue, Databricks issue. I think only pay-as-you-go peoples, I think, allowed to create the tickets, I guess. Okay, so read this information, and based upon your issue, so you need to read those information. They're having some FAQs. Okay, based upon your question, there we have the solutions. Actually, you need to read the FAQs in this section. Okay, right. So or else we have a contact support also is there. Right, create a support request. Click on it. Here I need to specify the problem description. So my issue is related to the technical. Okay, select this technical option. Is this issue related to the all services or a specific service? Only specific service, like Databricks. Select the Databricks and just add your resource name and Databricks works name, problem type, problem related to the cluster, sizing or auto scaling, or a launch failure, or quota related issues, or runtime related issues. Like the way we have multiple options available here. My issue is related to quota related issue, means limitation. Click on next. You need to add few more additional details here. Okay, so enter details. Okay, where we are going to deploy resource manager, which location majority you guys are using. So make sure this is a very, very important. My lab, I'm gonna do into the West US 200. Okay, all right. So select the series. Okay, this is also very important. Okay, here we are creating the cluster. Okay, right. In cluster, here we are creating the mission. Which series you guys are using? Standard DS3 v2, standard DS4 v2. Make sure you need to check these things. So if you are using free trial, we have some limitations. So based upon whatever they are giving some availability, right? You need to select these things only. Okay, something DS, right? So DS3_v2 something. DS3 DS v3 DS3_v2. Yes. So not this one, v2 or v2. DS3. Yeah, this one you need to select the correct series actually. And next you need to specify the limit. Quota issues, right? How much limit you want? 100% I want. Okay. I think they are not giving 100%. Let me specify 50%, 30%. I think I'm not eligible for to selecting DS3v2. So you need to select another one. So yeah, here there is an option called learn about compute, so that they will let you know which option you are suitable. Okay. So generally all options actually suitable for to the real-time projects manner. When we are doing your practice or POs, we have some limitations. You have to read the documentation. Okay. Once if you give these details, you need to give the contact details like an email or a phone number. So email, I want get the contact in the manner email. So here I'm giving the C priority, severity C only. We have a ABC priority. A means high, B means medium, C means low. Okay. Support language, just support English only. Remaining details. Okay. Click on next. Okay. So the value must and should be, we need to pass it. So click on no. Next. So here I need to provide the details. Even save and continue. After that, if you click on next, right, and the information required submit were either missing or invalid. You must be empty. Okay. In case if I select the East to S2, East to S2 is the primary one actually. Let's save and continue. Yeah. Click on next. So here you need to select the mandatory one, guys. Just read the documentation. After that, you need to create a support request. If you feel any issues related to the cluster point of view, you need to raise the ticket to the support team, not only cluster. So we have a based upon your issue, you need to reach out to the support team. Okay, any questions now?
Okay, I was facing the issue, same issue. Earlier it was showing, right? The warning
Okay,
here. The issue in some time back,
Okay.
there was an issue here actually. That account has a CPU.
already told you, right? If you are using free trial, so
Oh
make
yeah,
sure please
this
go
one.
with the
This
personal
one.
compute only. Personal
Yeah,
compute,
what
please
type?
go with the please go with the personal compute only.
Okay.
Okay, because here we are using the free
Right.
trials.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
Okay. So if you need, if you are using pay as you go, right? If you are planning to create some advanced this compute, right? You need to raise a ticket. If you face any issues related to the cluster, you need to raise a ticket. They will resolve your issue at the back.
In real time also we have to do similarly.
Support request?
Huh.
Yes, same manner.
Same
Admin or a data engineer or a data science or a DevOps who are facing any issues related to the specific service, right? So same process.
Okay, and this cluster should be created by data engineer only.
Data engineer only.
Okay.
Thank you. Others,
Yeah,
any
this
questions?
worker type here, it is showing this account may not have enough, this one, the same issue actually. Let's see how I'll go through.
Already told you, right? Please select the personal compute only. Please go with the personal compute option because you are using free trial.
Okay.
If you need a lab related to the legacy shared compute, just go and raise the support request here. Make sure, so whatever you are using the node type series, right? Please specify this option while creating the support request.
Actually, what is the difference between personal compute and legacy? Like, what is the difference?
Personal compute means we are using free trials, right?
Okay.
Okay, so Microsoft restrict to do our labs and all. So here we are doing some POCs. POC means obviously we are handling the low amount of data, either MBs or KBs of data. That's it. So if you are working with the real-time projects, so definitely when we are handling the huge amount of data, GBs of data, terabytes, right? People are go with this option, shared compute, legacy shared compute means here we have a group of machines for handling the large volume of data. These machines actually distributing the data into the each and every mission. One mission will be take care of the 500 MB of data. One mission will be take care of the 500 GB of data. So like that, we are partitioning the data into the multiple missions.
Okay. Few options are not available in the personal compute.
Correct. Because for example, we have a one task, right? If I'm doing the task right alone, it will take 1 week time. For example, I have a team, 7 members. So if I distribute my task into these 7 members, So we can finish the task in one day, right?
Yes, yes.
Same like when we are handling the data from the source system, we are distributing the data into the multiple missions. Okay.
Okay.
Shravan, while we are creating the cluster, so you have mentioned
Okay.
all the specifications and all. So do we get the specification details from the lead or manager, or do we need to make that call?
Yes, before beginning of the project, we need to prepare one document. The document name is called deployment design document or a requirement analysis document. Already told you, right? As a data engineer, first you need to know about three views: velocity, volume, and variety. So,
Okay.
so based upon your velocity, size, time, and format, you need to decide the cluster. Okay.
Okay.
At the beginning of project itself only, we are going to discuss. There is a discussion happening to the this data related thing. So based upon your data, people are going to prefer the policy actually, whether it's a legacy shared compute or a power compute, power user compute. Almost these three options actually having the same like minimum workers and maximum workers options, but there is some differences there. Okay, right. So legacy shared compute, if you use this option, we need to pay some huge amount. For example, 1,000 rupees per day. You can just consider 1,000 rupees per day. Shared compute means maybe they are going to charge something 800 rupees per day. Okay, power user compute means they are going to charge something 400 or 500 rupees. Depends. So based upon your data size, the team, you need to decide the policy. I will explain this difference between this shared compute, legacy shared compute. When we go for exactly legacy shared compute, and what factors we need to select this policy, I will explain this concept later.
Okay.
Yeah.
That might, yeah.
Yeah, please.
About this region, in real time, they are going to give us the reason and all, right?
Can you please explain one more time?
Actually, this West US too, why this, we can select another region also, right?
Yes, we can select, but always we are going to maintain the our resources into the one resource group, one region only.
Okay,
Okay.
for practice,
So
which one you suggest?
don't select, don't go with East US because East US is the having the demand. Definitely, it will throw the error after few days. It will throw the error. Better you can go with another regions. For example, I'm looking for a job change. So in interviewer, so can you please let me know your preferred location? I'm telling Hyderabad. So everyone preferring Hyderabad. The reason is due to some different factors. Majority of the people are preferring Hyderabad location. Same like East US is the topmost region which is available in entire world. So means that is a good place actually. It having the good environment, everything. So all the people are preferring to deploy this infrastructure and applications into the East US environment.
Okay, for us,
Your wish,
what
West
we,
US 2, West US 3, Central US, your wish.
okay.
I don't see any issues related to the West US and couple of months onwards.
Okay.
So based upon region selection also, they will charge the amount. Amount also differ because East US is the topmost one, right? So there is a demand.
And coming to this Spark, PySpark and Spark is different, you're saying, right?
Correct.
In Databricks, we are using Spark or PySpark?
Both.
And
Both.
Fabric, Spark.
Both. Actually, we don't have any separate options to write the code actually. So within we have one single option, that's it. In the single option, we can write the Spark code. See, if I click, let me create the one notebook actually.
Okay,
Let me
both
show you.
will work in the same
Both
option.
simultaneously. One notebook, I'm gonna write the PySpark code and separate Spark code as well. Mixed.
Okay.
Okay. For example, in Fabric, if you create one notebook. Okay, see. Did you see any separate here we are able to, did you see any separate option for Spark? No, mixed, Spark SQL. PySpark means combination of Spark and Python mixed. Spark Scala mixed. Spark SQL mixed. Spark R mixed. TSQL separate.
Okay. In real time, what we get to work on?
All majority PySpark and SQL and Spark as well. I will show you when we are going to write this code, when we are going to select the PySpark, when we are going to write the Spark. I will let you
Okay.
know.
Okay.
So, Shravan, so you are going to explain what specifications are best for, I mean, depending on the scenarios, right? So
Yes, all
probably,
are scenarios only. Yeah.
yeah, what worker type and how many workers and all that stuff.
Correct.
Okay, okay.
Any other questions?
So in real time, how that selection, this cluster options will be taken? Like how silver layer, bronze layer, and gold layer, like are they creating differently or like how?
Yeah, based upon the project source data, we used to prefer this container selections. The
Okay.
data, the movements, the data quality, the data aggregations, business point of view. Either you can create or a 3 or a 4 or a 2. Majority 3 only, bronze, silver, gold. Bronze having the raw
Cluster.
data.
Okay. How that cluster means will be considered for that?
Based upon data, using the Databricks, creating the cluster. After the cluster, here we are using the data frame RDD concept. We are handling the data by using Spark code or a PySpark code. But in Fabric, there is no concepts to create the cluster. Automatically, there is a cluster will be backend, it will be there. So here we need to select the high concurrency something options. Okay, majority will go for high concurrency. Right, as of now, I'm using free try. Let me discard these things. So I need these details enough actually. So Spark 3.5, Delta 3.2, runtime 1.3 version 1.10. Enough. These cluster details is enough. Here we are not going to create any cluster. Automatic cluster will be there. Directly you can start writing the code, PySpark code. Then directly you can start to read the data. Okay. This is the way we need to directly write to it. But in Databricks, first we need to create a cluster. After a cluster, we'll do the Spark related activities. But here we are directly doing all the activities in Fabric. So here we can reduce the lot of time into the Fabric. I will show you all the details later. Right. Any questions? So the very first component is component. Next we have a catalog. In this catalog, we have a Unity catalog option also is there. And also we have a temporary storage which is available in catalog, that is DBFS, Databricks file system. Each and every cloud having the storages, right? AWS we have a S3 bucket, Azure we have a storage account. Databricks also we have a internal storage. The storage name is called DBFS, Databricks file system. Same like Hadoop also having HDBFS, Hadoop file system. Like in recent tab, whatever you are creating notebooks, right? That notebooks you can able to see in the recent tabs. Workspace means all the team members are working together here only. Here we have a repository. We are sharing the code into the repository place. So all the project related users list you can able to see here. Like your friend, your colleagues details, user email IDs, you can able to see it here. Next we have a shared folder. So we are working with data science team and data analyst team and data engineer, right? So I just written one notebook. I want to share my notebook to the Databricks team. So instead of pushing that notebook into the repository, if you maintain into the shared section, right, anyone can able to see that shared notebook actually. So those options actually available in Workspace. Notebooks creations actually comes under the Workspace. So left click on right click, open. Here we have an option called to create a notebook. So in this notebook, okay, we are gonna write the code actually, like a Python code, SQL code, Scala code, R code. So we have a multiple cells actually, multiple cell. Each and every cell we are gonna write the code, single lines of code, 2 or 3 lines of code. That's it. So for example, in one cell, I want to write SQL code. Yes. Create database test.db. In second cell, I want to write some PySpark code. Yes, you can write it. In one more cell, I want to write the Python code. Yes, you can write it. In another cell, I want to go with write the Scala code. Yes, your wish. In one notebook, supports the multiple programming languages. Okay, that is the beauty of Databricks. Okay, next we have a workflow option is there. So actually, your production related jobs actually running under the workflow. We have a Delta Live Tables also option feature is there. So Delta Live Table also same like a ETL process, orchestration process, same like Azure Data Factory. But graphical manner in Azure Data Factory, we are doing ETL process. But here we don't have any graphical manner. So definitely, if your project handling the SQL code and Python code to do the ETL process, yes, Delta Live Table supports. If you are planning to create Delta Live Tables to automate the ETL process, right? Definitely, your code must and should be either in SQL or a Python. Here we don't have any graphical manner. Here we are doing the ETL process as a code manner by using SQL or a Python, anyone. Here we have a SQL editor. You can do the SQL related activities. You can write the SQL queries also here. You can write the queries here, create a query. If you click on create query, right, you will go to the SQL editor. You can write the queries here. We have a dashboards to track all those things here for internal Databricks parts, and any alerts you can able to see here, and Synops related warehouses related things we can able to track it here. Jobs runs option you can able to see here either workflow or jobs related things actually part of in this place. Okay, so majority compute and workspace, catalog, workflow.